irrational minds.
High sounding words. Just to make it look like
generational mind. I know, understand grammar like you now. I'm just using simple language. Do you believe in the principle of comparing? You know where you are coming from, and you not compare where you are to where you are coming from.
Yeah, let's compare. Let's go. Go on.
Okay. Where were we as the people, or where was Nigeria as a country? Nigeria was already technically bankrupt. The only thing is that they don't use the word bankruptcy for a country, right? But you know that if Nigeria was human being, as at the time Buhari was living, Nigeria was already bankrupt. Now, what was the characteristics of being bankrupt? You were using almost 100% of your revenue to service debt, right? Now, not only that, you were borrowing to make payments like subsidy, probably salary and all those stuff. Now, this guy came, and when he came, he paid the debt, all those debt owed to the foreign airlines.
Oga Ola, you intentionally remove context in this your discussion. Let's be just now. How much was the barrel of oil when Buhari came in?
It's not a matter of okay. What does
why would you conveniently
hold on, hold on. What has barrel of oil got to do with using almost 100% of your revenue to service debt? What has barrel of oil got to do with that? What has barrel of oil got to do?
Are you asking me that question? I want to believe
100%. 100%.
I want to believe it's rhetorical, because I don't think
it's not rhetorical. It's not rhetorical. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, let me tell you the mismanagement. Now, when Buhari was there, we were spending about 38 billion for subsidy, both fuel subsidy and a dollar subsidy. You understand? So look at the waste you were spending.
Is it Buhari that started it, or did he inherit that?
Does that matter? Does that matter? Buhari abused the forest. No, under Buhari, the forest was abused. Totally, seriously abused. Spending about 18 billion. No. You are telling me you just challenged my opinion.
At his table only.
No, you just challenge my opinion, and I'm putting it to you that
you remove important context.
No. You reduce the failure of economy to only a dollar to naira exchange.
I will
now
just respond.
I'm telling you that Tinubu is far more fiscally disciplined than Buhari. That is why we are not spending about 100. Is that not what I'm explaining? Is that not what I'm explaining?
No, go on.
Farabale, listen to me. We were using about $38 billion to subsidize forex and gasoline. You understand? And gasoline. Now, how is this man fiscally disciplined? Is it true that Nigeria will no longer spend that 20 billion for that gasoline, and he makes sure that Nigeria will no longer spend 18 billion to subsidize forex for those people that are looting it? You sit down in your office, you get subsidized forex, and you sell to the market. It's as good as people dipping their hand into the treasury, and we are unable to pay the debt of that country. And so, how do you justify that? So that one is not the cost of oil. It's not the cost of crude oil. It has nothing to do. It is a discipline, fiscal indiscipline, and corruption. Very criminal, traceable. Some people, through the economic process, they committed tracing against the country.
Let me ask a question. What is the meaning of what is the difference between the fiscal indiscipline and corruption? Because hold on. Because you bundle the two words together as if some of us don't even understand what you're talking about. So what's the difference? Hold on now. What's that fiscal discipline, indiscipline by Buhari, and what's that corruption? I want you to differentiate both. Or if they mean the same,
you know, corruption is a broad word. You understand? Corruption is a broad word, but fiscal indiscipline is specific. So when I say fiscal indiscipline, you understand, you were borrowing to subsidize. Nigeria was even printing money again. When what you needed to do was to stop the unholy subsidies you applied to Forex. What you needed to do was to just to remove the subsidy attached to gasoline so that you allow the local industry to develop and allow the market forces to just decide the pricing. So when you did all those stuff and someone now is now giving credit, is now saying, okay, I should look at Buhari, that I'm not being fair to Buhari. Like, seriously? I know this is JSS2 economics.
Ola, I think Azan is playing. You know, he can't be asking you to be making that comparison. Azan is just playing.
So context now. Let's give it context. Was Buhari administration, was it corrupt? Yes, it was. Were they fiscally
the worst since 1999?
Were they fiscally incompetent?
Indiscipline.
Indiscipline, right? I'm trying to use the word.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely.
They were. Now let's come to Tinubu. You're talking about fiscal discipline. No, Tinubu is not fiscally disciplined. He found a way. Hold on. He was also, his administration is so corrupt. It's only when they leave there we'll find out the level of corruption and how were they. You see, one thing you need to understand about governance is that, which I don't know if you understand, which I know, I feel you should understand, because if you can explain the way you explain it, it shows maybe you have a level of understanding. When people are in power, like this one that is here in America, when he leaves, that's when we're going to know the monumental corruption. But right now,
let's talk about what we see. Forget about when he leaves.
For right now, we cannot say. Is it the way when Biden was there or whoever was there previously before him? Was it the same kind of level of corruption?
Let's focus on Nigeria. Let's stay on Buhari. No, let's stay on Buhari versus.
Hold on.
No, I don't see the logic. I don't see the logic in Biden versus Trump.
If you continue interrupting me like this, I don't go fit like that. Let me just go. I'll move straight to Nigeria. So it's only when they leave there that's when you find out. Now, Tinubu find a way around this all. Rather punish the people and make it look like I'm not corrupt. I'm fiscally disciplined. No, Tinubu is not fiscally disciplined because we've seen the level of profligacy under Tinubu. We've seen the way he has spent money like hold on. Which Bubu never did at the scale at which Tinubu is doing his own.
Hold on. That's not the way to you see.
No, you're talking about fiscal discipline. But you want to give it your own spin.
Wait. Some of the don't
go just micro. After you, I will answer Oga Ola.
Don't just go through unnecessarily micro. You understand? The point is this. Hold on.
Come on.
I've just told you. I told you. So okay. Buhari was grossly fiscally indisciplined to the point that we could not pay the airline that were doing businesses on our soil. They could not repatriate their money. Okay, assuming, hold on, sir. Messrs. Beware of Spinners brought 10 billion to do business in Nigeria. By the time you are not done with that business, you now wanted to repatriate your money. An institution will be saying, go and get your money from the black market, from the parallel market. When you knew how you brought your money, so it was just creating some kind of a shortage for you, and there was no you that were supposed to guarantee the representation of the investment. You could not. And
hold on. What Tinubu did recently.
You hold on.
Ah, come on, guy.
You hold on. Don't spread misinformation, because
what is
see,
people need. Have you heard me before? You saying that spreading disinformation? What are you talking about?
Now, so this guy came, he cleared that backlog, he reduced
at
using.
what expense? You keep saying he cleared, like I said, he cleared the backlog. At what expense?
What are you talking about? I said Nigeria was technically bankrupt, and you are not telling me that.
Don't give me that Nigeria is technically bankrupt. Don't give me that.
Hold on. No. Spinner. Hold on. Nigeria was technically bankrupt. Do you really understand?
Ola, you know, we are here. We need to talk. Just allow rational mind to do whatever you want to do. And you cannot win this argument, please. You are just extending. Do you expect him to agree with you?
Not true. He won't agree anyway.
Somehow are here to talk.
AI is next, man. Put AI on and forget about rational.
Because I know what you people do. So my point is, let me just go. Let me just
round up so that we go to Madam.
I'll round up. Don't worry. So you're talking about fiscal discipline and what all those things you're throwing around. At what expense? Nigerians are in penury. I was about giving you an example of myself and one of my business partners. We have money that we took to Nigeria, and we invested heavily into that business. And now for us to repatriate that money back here, we have to go and buy dollar, more naira to buy dollar, with less dollar than we took, more than like half of the dollar we took in there. And you're telling me that because mind you, like you gave me an example, we took in dollars there. For example,
when? But please put dates so that we can be fair in our analysis.
So that you don't have to figure out my.
No. Put it, and then
there's no credit. I just told you. Hold on. Was there.
That has no time. Investment that has no
timeline. I'm going to give you timeline.
No. Investment that has no timeline is fake.
Was there. We moved money in there during Bubu. And now this business, for some reason, we're not able to do it because of the activities in Nigeria. Okay, let's just bring the money back. The money we took in there was not exactly the money we brought back, because we have to change that naira that we had, that we changed the money from, convert the money into dollars, and we got less than the dollar we took in.
So how was that a Tinubu's market? Even if
I'll answer your question. Because he devalued the naira.
You don't need Alfred Rewani and economists to even explain to you that.
Can even somebody say that they devalued naira? Do you know difference between devaluation and depreciation?
I can't.
You
understand?
If you don't have the knowledge, you can't just come here and just be telling us.
You are so confused. This is your APC.
If you go and read about what devaluation means and depreciation means, then you know the difference. So you can't come here and be telling us that somebody devalued naira. Nobody devalued naira. The naira depreciated to that level. Depreciation is different from devaluation. Let me tell you. Let me educate you. Let me educate you. Just give me one minute.
Educate yourself.
You. I'm not talking about every other person understands. You that doesn't understand.
You are giving crap. You're saying crap in your mouth.
You can't say anything. I don't. It's your way. Everybody talk crap now. It's only that makes sense.
And learn a little bit. Just
so
quiet. Let me finish. When
you devalue, what are you doing? When you devalue a currency, what are you doing to that currency?
When you
put doctor, hey, more English. When you say depreciate and devalue, what's the difference? I don't know synonymous.
You can see that you are exposing yourself more. You want to abuse me, but you are abusing yourself because people are listening to you and they know that you are exposing your ignorance.
Depreciate. You see,
No, see, let me
I thought you said you are master of everything, that you are economist, you are engineer, you are doctor, you are everything, and you don't understand the difference between depreciation and devaluation.
Spinner, at least Simba is a business owner. Hold on.
Let him tell us.
Let me make my statement now. Hold on, Baba. Let me make my statement.
There are a lot of people here.
Simba is a business owner. So, and
No, I didn't ask you that question. No, that question wasn't for you. It was for him. He said, I didn't know what the meaning of devaluation and depreciation. To tell us what's the difference.
Okay, let me tell you. When you say okay, it's government that will say okay with devalue naira. Okay, now the exchange rate will be 1,000 to $1. Maybe it was 500 before. Now, government now make a statement and say okay, now it will be this to this, like the way Bubu fixed it at that time. That is what they call devaluation. But when you allow naira now to float and you subject to the market force and it gets to that level, that's depreciation. So that's the difference. Is government that will make a pronouncement when you talk about devaluation.
Okay, Raksha Mind, you want to apologize now? Or have you learned something? Have you learned something, Raksha Mind?
Learn what? What are you learning?
Have you learned anything?
What are you learning?
Now, based on what you just said.
What are you learning? What are you learning? Your Agbado economics that you're trying to spin here. You're telling me you're learning.
We are not even expecting you to agree. Finish your whatever you want to speak so that every other person can talk.
Yeah, let me land. So this is what some of you do here. You come here, you do this, your Agbado spinning, and you are very good. Some of you, I think
you'll be repeating the same thing. You are becoming monotonous and then very. In fact, listening to you is very distressing.
It's stressing. So
Raksha should be done by now. Put AI on the next person on the line, please. We're tired, man.
Dude, Ewa, you were talking a while ago. I mean, I just kept quiet. I mean, it's my topic.
You've been speaking for a while too now.
I've been speaking for a while. How long have I been speaking?
Let's be fair.
You hear online interjected me and you're telling me I've been speaking for a while. What are you talking about?
Okay, we'll give you 3 minutes. Right? Say whatever you learn, whatever you want to learn.
So, you people come here, you do this your Tinubu Bati and do this your spinning word around like as if some of us are just so dumb. If the government, they never pegged. What they did was that they kind of like tell the central bank, okay, this is how you should be selling it. If the government said we're pegging it, okay, they can, I mean, it could have pegged it to like $110 to a naira. I mean, let's say 100 naira to $1. It could have, that's pegging. But they were selling dollar at a rate, at a particular rate. For some people, you go to the central bank, they'll give it to you. Go to bank, they'll give it to you. And mind you, even in black market, it's even higher than what you even get from central bank. So we have these two different, and you're telling me they're pegging. What are you talking about? Tinubu came, instead of rather continue with that policy, he allowed it, he floated it. Because the IMF told him that you cannot continue doing that. Yes, Bubu did that wrong. And he did that. There wasn't anything wrong. Every country in this world. I mean, a few days ago, I heard when Trump was saying that every country, they manipulate their currency. That was what Trump was saying, that Japan and China was manipulating their yen and yuan. Yes, they do that. They manipulate it. How they do that? They either devalue their naira, devalue their currency so that they could get more trade, or they support that currency so that it will have some kind of, just to achieve some kind of economic gain they want to achieve with it. So every government does that, but this one enter, he doesn't even understand what is going on. The next thing, fuel subsidy is gone, and they devalue the naira. I mean, they left the naira to float. I mean, you don't do that. You need to understand what you're getting yourself into first. I mean, let me just trying to have a conversation with some of you here. It causes headache because at the end of the day, you always want to use your Agbado narrative. I leave it at that. It's okay.
And anyway, thank you. Even though Simba explained to you, you failed to learn.
Dude, don't do that with me. Don't do that with me.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Don't do that with me.
You failed to learn. He told you that devaluation is deliberate. When you are talking of devaluation, you reduce the value, you fixed, you understand. You fixed that. He told you already. So he told you. So, and he explained what depreciation means, which is just it's market driven. You understand? Depreciation is market driven. It's not a deliberate effort. You understand? It's just a function of supply and demand. So someone explained to you, one thing is this: when someone is a businessman, sometimes even if it's his business, it's not more than 500 million. You don't have to have size of Dangote business before you recognize that. Let me tell you one thing: even Yalata that is properly doing is selling his pepper properly can even know better economics than what you just did this evening, National Mind. So, thank you anyway for your contribution.
It's the same formula now. It's the same formula. It's just at scale. That makes the difference, Oga. Like, it's the same formula. Oga, I beg. You have this slow way of talking, but it pierces like an
Ola no go make a with that statement.
What slow has he spoken? What slow has he spoken? I mean, what are you talking about?
Let's leave this. Let's leave this. I beg. Madam AI, may I respond to Oga Ola just for a few minutes? Then I'll let you go.
I don't think AI is even there because he will have come up if she's there. So continue. When she comes, we give her the floor.
Okay, Oga. Like, you see, the thing I want you to pay attention to around Buhari, and the thing that why I think a lot of people are not doing justice to Buhari. First of all, yeah, let's establish something. You see, between 2015, when Buhari came into power, and 2022. That was around when he was getting ready to get out of power. Nigeria's economy, was subjected to some kind of I think it's even a compound shock like environment all through. Well, first of all, there were exogenous shocks. Global oil prices collapsed between 2014 and 2016. They collapsed. Now, add that to COVID-19. You already know what happened with COVID-19 because when COVID-19 hit, in fact, a barrel was selling at minus because it was even becoming a liability for people because it was not even zero, it was minus. It was minus something that people were selling it. Now, there are also these constraints that I would term them as endogenous. First, structural oil dependence for us, and we have weak fiscal buffers. Okay, and the truth is that our forex regime and its rigidity worsened our problem. In that, you may have a point, but the thing is that it is not Buhari that put that system in place. Okay, so when we talk about all these things, so that result was it became a macro. It exposes us to a macroeconomic fragility, if I may say that, but not entirely an economic collapse. Now, with the material and developmental attendant retrogressions that we faced during Buhari's time, I think the key framing that most people should take, especially people who at a level that they can understand these KPIs and all these intricacies. The thing we must take is that this was not a uniquely Nigerian failure. It was a systematic vulnerability that was shared by commodity-dependent and structurally rigid economies. There are so many different kind of economies similar to Nigeria's in that regard. Okay, now it was exacerbated by the policy sequencing and the timing and all that. So Nigeria's shock transmission is not the exception. It was actually the norm for economies that were in the same place as ours at that material time. So first, like the oil price collapse, okay, it's a physical stress. So because oil accounted for 90% of our forex earnings, you can see why that can be a problem. And 60 to 70% of government revenue is still gotten from oil. So price collapsed immediately. Now, that translated to what? It translated to reduced budget execution capacity. And then another thing too, that it became a form of constraint for capital expenditure. Now, what the result of that, of course, is that our reserves were depleted. Foreign reserves were depleted so much. And also that one too will have implications. So the implications then became that we'll have volatility in revenue, and then it also always things like this, when they happen, they directly translate to instability, especially fiscal instability, because there is insufficient diversification, and an environment of weak stabilization mechanisms, if I may say, because of course, during that time, people were not actually, actually bringing in foreign direct investment into the country in any shape, way, or form. So, and Nigeria entered two recessions.
Let me ask you, Azan, why are
Yes.
they not bringing foreign direct investment?
Okay. Volatility. Because
what do you mean by volatility?
Okay. FX volatility. One, are you listening? Because
our forex was not volatile at that time now.
No, yeah.
What was not that volatile at that time now?
It was volatile. It was volatile.
How? Tell us now.
What year?
Revenue. We were selling. Jonathan was selling a barrel for 100 and something. Buhari sold for less than 29.
Forget about that. You said forex volatility. What do you mean by forex volatility?
Because oil is 90% of our forex income.
This is the first time we're able to have stability. Forex has always been the black market and the CBN.
Let me say this. The major reason why people
you can say that there is insufficient diversification.
I will give you time to talk. Just hold on. Just give me 1 minute. The major reason why they are not bringing foreign direct investment that time is, when you are coming to Nigeria that time, Buhari was saying that exchange rate was like 460 or something like that. You will bring in that your money at 460 through the central bank. And then when you want to repatriate, they will not say you should go to black market to go and source it for, let's say, 760. Or how do you get your money? Is that how the way you get? That is the major reason why foreign direct investment was not coming to Nigeria. It doesn't have anything to do with the price of crude.
Okay.
And that was why even the foreign airline that time, it got to a stage. It got to a stage when they were not even taking naira again. They said if you cannot pay in dollar, they won't get the ticket, because they find it difficult to repatriate their money. But when this administration came, he did not actually give them that, say, okay, go to he gave them the amount of money that they claim in dollars, irrespective of the exchange rate.
You are right. You are right. You are right. You are right in a sense, but you are also wrong in another sense.
I don't know.
No, let me tell you why you are wrong.
Azan.
Let me tell you.
You see, I don't want.
Let's not talk in absolutes. Let's
hold on. You will talk. I don't want Simba to roast you. If we are talking of philosophy and politics, none of us can match you. But when you start talking of economics, many businessmen are here. They will roast you. See, like Simba said, Simba put it perfectly.
I am poor. I'm not claiming that I have money or anything like that. But
what you are saying,
at least,
what you are saying, the file.
I know what I'm talking about. And I'm willing to learn if there is
Rational mind, don't disturb yourself. Azan can never be in your camp. Don't disturb yourself. Azan can never be in your camp.
It's a learning.
I'm not asking him. I'm not asking to be.
I will learn. I will learn if my ideas are wrong. I will learn. And if there
you can't learn from these guys. You can't learn from these guys. They will say you Abado narrative.
But so at least let me make my point.
You can't learn from them. Somebody tell me say depreciation and the same thing as it's not the same thing as.
I've warned you, rational mind. Azan will never be in your camp.
When you depreciate something and
let me tell you, Azan is a teacher.
You use something like that.
Azan is a teacher. He can lecture. So
why are you sucking? Why are you sucking?
And Azan doesn't let me tell you, Azan does not misrepresent data. He doesn't misrepresent facts when he knows. But you, an expert in misrepresentation. So Azan can never be
Simba.
You tell me the depreciation. Come on, dude. Come on. You stop that.
Simba.
It's deliberate. One is deliberate. One is not deliberate. What are you talking about?
Azan, continue. I don't even know why rational mind.
So let me ask you a question. I want to ask a question.
Let me just finish so that I won't lose my chain of thoughts. I will come back to you. Sorry. Okay. So Simba. It's true what you are saying about the arbitrage with the government selling dollar at 460, and then an investor wanting to repatriate will have to pay 760. Now that is the bad side of it. But another thing that you need to look at is the fact that somebody is benefiting and Nigerians are benefiting because they get dollar at a rate that is cheap compared to other spaces. The ordinary Nigerian is protected to some level, and it's not so much exposed. So the ordinary person, not the business type like you, not the venture capitalists like you, not the multi-billionaires like you, may not see the sense in that, but the ordinary person who earns minimum wage and was buying rice at 25,000 naira before Tinubu came and it became 100 and something thousand naira, actually was the beneficiary. Yeah, you may say it was in the Buhari and his government will argue that it was necessary in the short term. And let me tell you something, there was no government that did not do something during those emergencies to help the ordinary person. In fact, in the United States, they even dole out checks to the poor, to just help them cushion the effect of all that was happening. So you see, the oil price meant that there was FX.
So let's understand. When the price of a bag of rice went up, did the price of other commodities remain the same? And wages?
Everything went up now.
Okay, well, it almost balances out.
I'm just giving that as an example. You can also extrapolate.
But Azan, when you are doing that kind of thing, how sustainable is that kind of system?
Yes. Now that is where you have a point, a very good point. That is why I'm telling you that it is in the short term. You must do something as a government in the short term to help
you think that if you give Buhari another 4 years, it will eliminate it? You think
No,
he will
now
do
you are
that?
now you are not talking
It
facts
won't.
again.
It
Now
would
you are
not
not.
do that.
Now you are just talking imagination and
See,
figment. You don't know
let me tell you
because it did not
something. If
happen.
Buhari had waited, hold on,
If
Azan, no verse, no verse,
if
Azan, no verse.
okay,
If Buhari had waited for just one more year,
mm.
Nigeria would have been declared insolvent. We would have
Yes,
gone the
Nigeria
way of
I
would
Nigeria
have
of
bellied up.
totally,
Would have bellied
Ola,
up.
Ola, can I say something? I wanted to ask Hassan a question before. When you talk about buying the dollars and selling it at the black market, do you realize that Nigerians are borrowing money to sustain that dollar exchange? And
Charlie.
who are bearing
Well,
the brunt of it? They are all Nigerians. So only few people
we're
that are
depleting our
into
foreign
that
reserves,
business.
not
Yeah,
actually borrowing money.
we don't.
It was
We don't
depleting
even
the
have
foreign
that. We don't even have that reserve. We are not. We are not even, because the problem with Nigeria for over the years is that we have been cooking our books for a long time. This is the first time in the history of that country that everything. This is reality.
reserves.
This is
You
reality.
see,
All those ones are just cooking books and borrowing money to sustain subsidies and something like that. How can you borrow money to sustain subsidy? Because you
Simba,
want your people, and the
Simba, you
people are
see,
not even enjoying it. This is Remy, not Simba.
okay, Remy, sorry, Remy, and Ogawala, you give Tinubu all the benefit of the doubt, but somehow you cannot find it in you to give Buhari the benefit of the doubt.
No, they just give
The
us
key
no,
point,
no.
the
as
key point, no,
give
let me
us
finish.
points
The
now.
key point that
This
I'm
is not
saying,
about
the key
emotional
point, the key
blackmail.
point is that the key point
Eh.
is that the recession was not policy induced. It was a global
No,
contraction
see,
that
no,
exposed pre-existing
no,
weaknesses. Ahaba
Azan.
now.
Nigeria economy was already even in recession even before that event that you are even talking about, and it was due to the mismanagement of that economy from 2015. So, see that you say we are not giving
Is it
Tinubu credit, we are
2015
not
or
giving.
pre-2015? How
No,
did
no,
the Jonathan
there was
regime
no
left?
there was no recession before. Jonathan did not
Did
did
not
not hand
leave
it over
um,
the
uh,
state economy.
what do they call it?
See,
He did not get
see.
foreign loans.
Okay, when you say we give Tinubu is flower, let me tell you one thing. I will not help you to
No, you didn't give.
define
It's
the
not about
weakness of
flowers. The
Tinubu.
benefit or
Hold
doubt.
on now, I'm coming. I'm coming. It is your duty to find out the weakness of Tinubu and you push it to us. Then we can decide to defend or not to defend. But now we are exposing the atrocity of Buhari. So you are trying to defend, but your defense is not finding its foot in economic principle. That's the point we are talking about. So
No.
you were borrowing to subsidize. Hold on. You were
Okay,
borrowing
go
to
ahead.
subsidize. You were borrowing to subsidize while you were printing money to even perform the normal duties. Now the question is this: initially, when Buhari came, right, he bailed out some states to be able to pay their salary. What happened later? Some states could not pay salary again. Now, the question is this now. Since this guy has come to this place now, just point to one state government that cannot pay salary. Yeah, even say, oh, Tinubu has caused this problem. Oh. Tell me, when was the last time that the ASU went on strike? I guess if someone started school during the initial period of Tinubu, you understand? It's
Um.
4 years. It's going to be 4 years. Then
Yes.
again,
Ogahala. Yeah. You know there
so
is trade-offs. At the policy level. In anything that has to do with physical monetary policies. Then there is a place for where you would have to do trade-offs. Sometimes short-term stabilization can be achieved at the cost of medium-term fiscal compression. uh you have to understand what Buhari was doing given the circumstances he found himself in. Like now, because Nigeria responded with IMF, right? It's rapid financing instruments that Buhari used from IMF as at that time, and there was a lot of expansionary borrowing. Obviously, it is not only Nigeria. The thing that I'm trying to point to you on that it's not only Nigeria that face this kind of problem. Now, because if you look at it, pre-2015, I will say that the economy is moderately positive, and there was volatility, but it was medium. It was not high. Okay,
No, what I'm telling you is this: you are just talking of 2020, right? But what happened between 2015 and 2020 itself? You are ignoring that. Again, to compare what happened in America or Canada to what happened in Nigeria, you understand,
okay.
without looking at the variables.
Let's
the
compare
inputs.
Nigeria with other oil-dependent
No,
economies. Then maybe
hold
it
on,
will
hold
make
on, hold on,
sense more.
hold on,
Because now
hold
you
on.
are taking us to Canada
Hold
and
on now.
America.
Hold on,
That will not
hold on.
compare.
Just hold on. Why you
Okay.
compare Nigeria to other countries like Canada, like other countries, without looking at the inputs? Part of our input was that we were borrowing to subsidize for gasoline. Canada does not subsidize gasoline. Does not subsidize.
That is true.
Now, Canada does not subsidize forex. So all those two inputs already, by the time you don't even find it in other countries you are talking about, those two powerful inputs alone render whatever
But
output of that argument
remind
want to put,
remind
render
me
it.
again, how much did we buy gasoline last when Buhari left in the last year, and how much did we buy the moment Tinubu came into power, and what's the ratio of difference? Just remind me, and don't think of it you as somebody who is a business owner, elite, and all that. Try to put yourself in the shoes of an ordinary man and see whether that is significant or not. Sometimes we talk of numbers and remove
Let, let,
humanity,
let,
and
me
all that.
let me tell
And
you something. Those
that's not
no,
my approach, actually.
no, let me tell you one thing. That's one of those things that the elites and all those people benefiting from all this subsidy nonsense used to hold us back and used to manipulate the public because they have their P out there. You see, one thing is this: you may decide to remove subsidy and just give the thing time for the economy to establish at a new point of equilibrium, to reach a new level of pricing for everything within the country. Now, you see, one thing is this: we say common people. Now, when you are bringing food, all those pepper, tomatoes, beans, and all those things from the north. Are you using gasoline, or you basically you are using diesel? Ask yourself a simple question: since when? When was the subsidy on diesel removed from that country? I think I saw back as 2007. Ask yourself question. Now you are talking of poor common man. Are common man and poor people not supposed to be using kerosene? Now, when was subsidy? Now, tell me the year that subsidy was removed from kerosene. Now, ask yourself a question now. Why gasoline? At least the poor people you are talking about, they don't buy car. They don't buy car, whether we like it. You understand? So now when you look at some kind of logic, you understand, diesel is very critical to production, even more than the gasoline you want to talk. I'm not discounting the fact that we have a barber's job, we have those people that are using, but you see the core businesses, the big businesses in Nigeria, when you talk of the banking, when you talk of the telecom, when you talk of even the trucking for moving food and commodities, you understand? When you look at all those stuff, those are the major chunk of the economic activities you want to talk about. But yet, the input into all those businesses, which happen to be diesel, no subsidy on them. Even the end product that you even supposed to be for the common people you are talking about, kerosene, no subsidy on kerosene. Why gasoline?
Okay.
Why gasoline? It's just for racketeering, nothing more. And you see that thing was killing the business of the country. Are we not happy that we
I
have?
agree. I agree. I agree. Partly, it's true, but I will not go as far as to say that it is racketeering completely, because I know a lot of people whose livelihood were wrecked because of the collapse of
Azan, let me ask you a quick question. I know you will have traveled to other countries of the world, maybe to developed countries, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't want to also
so my question is this. Have you ever been to any of these developed nations and you see them hawking dollar in the street, come and buy? When you get to the airport, there's a stock exchange or people you can change your money easily. I will use the example of even here, even if you carry dollar, you have to take it to the bank. So in an economy that everybody just hawk dollar or naira on the street, that is not an economy. That is a gradual economy.
Let's not compare apples and
so
oranges.
Don't say let us compare. If you want, look at what is happening in Nigeria now. From the savings of this removal of subsidy, there has been an increment in allocation to the federal and the state and the local government. That is one. Two, there's a beauty of competition. I was in Nigeria. Let me finish. Let me quickly finish. You come back. Okay. I was in Nigeria in December, and I bought fuel. I started buying that 815 naira, 840 or 832 naira per liter. And before I can say under 2 weeks, I was buying for 709 naira per liter. Sometimes it jumped to 739. And come and sell this petrol station. They are just doing competition among themselves. Some are even giving you free drink to come and buy gas from them. That is when you liberalize the system, it brings in a lot of new players. And I will go and write this thing down. In the next 1 year, if that major refinery Boa is also
I agree with you on the
what I want to say in essence is that in future we might see a price per liter of petrol drop below 500 naira in Nigeria in the maybe next 2 to 3 years. Yes. So that is the beauty. And the more money goes to the government to do, the only problem I'm having is this. I want our people to start holding their governors, their local government chairman.
You are talking more of the cons and not the
people should not just keep quiet. They should not just keep quiet. The money is very good. No, hold that your local councillor. That is why Lagos State is improving.
Let me even say this to Azan. Azan, you said that at that time that the exchange area, the civil servant are joining because that time that even some of the state cannot even pay salary were not regular. Which one will you even prefer? That a government that cannot even pay salary, and you said if you don't get the salary, which salary are you going to enjoy? No, just tell me.
They were all bailed out now.
Even with the bailout, or she cannot even pay salary that time. At least
that was the incompetence of the chief executive.
No, and Azan, let me even ask you this question too. Why some northern states are paying 18,000 up to today minimum wage? So sometimes they are just cheating now.
Up to today, which state is that?
I don't know. Before
Bauchi state. I know
that is criminal. That is criminal. If it is true, that is criminal. But what I want to agree with you, Remy, with when you said the liberalization, I don't subscribe more to the like liberalizing too much. What I would rather have is, say, let us have like more of revenue diversification, strategy in such a way that revenues come in from different streams.
What you are
the problem with that liberalization,
what liberalization are you talking about? Hold on, Remy. What liberalization are you talking about?
Remy is talking of liberalization of the means of production and giving private control and ownership of means of production to attract FDIs. Of
course, that's the way to go.
Let me just in doing that, there's a risk of amassing significant amount of wealth in the hands of cooperatives, venture capitalists, and I do not really believe in trickle down economics. Because
okay, let me ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you a question. There's nothing wrong in what Remy said.
Hold
Now
on.
the question is this:
Is the Assam
tell me,
proposal on socialism?
Ola,
Or
please,
I didn't get that part.
let's hear Trump's
is socialism devilish? Is it
no,
worship of Satan?
peace forever will come in. But let me ask Azan a simple question. Now, when you are saying you don't want the means of production to go to the hand of the government, tell me any of the government businesses.
No. He didn't say that. He said the hands of the private enterprise. That's what he said. He didn't say government.
he wanted to put it in the hand of government. That's what he wanted.
That's what we are saying now.
That's the other way around.
Understand
okay,
me.
no, Azan, hold on. Let us go to the government enterprise that we are talking public. Where's Ajakuta today? Where's Nigerian Airways? You understand? Where
don't mention. Just ask him that if you mention one business that government has run very well.
One government that government has run that is still standing now. That it used to be 90. Don't like it today. So just imagine if you are not giving 90
let me answer. And my answer is
all of them already.
Let me answer, and my answer is nuanced. It's nuanced, and I know a lot of you are old enough to understand that. Yes, okay. First of all, all the functioning government-run corporations were by the people who subscribed to Remi's schools of thought liberalized after 1999 through the Bureau of Public Enterprise. So let me tell you one thing. Nikon Insurance Corporation of Nigeria, when it was, it was function, and the reason why Nigerian Airways grounded to a halt was because some vultures from the West, from America and their friends came and bought Nikon Insurance at a cheap. Do you know the pool of resources that was in Nikon Insurance at the time that it was sold was so much, and was sold at
I think
that is one of the reasons why Nigerian Airways failed.
No. Azan,
let me
under
finish.
the Nigerian Bureau of Privatization, if anybody want to buy an asset in Nigeria, there are some Nigerians that will be the core managing managing.
Does anybody remember?
So when you talk about Nikon or Transport, are they not bought by Nigerians? They are bought by Nigerians. So stop talking about all this.
They are not. No. He said they were bought by foreigners, like some American whatnot.
Which American bought it now? She should give us.
That's what he said.
No.
So what Azan is mentioning here.
You have to listen to him when he's speaking so he can counter properly.
Why did Nigeria allow foreigner to buy? That's what you have to ask. Why did Nigeria allow foreigner to buy?
Right about that one, Jerry.
Why did it sell in the first place? Why did it sell in the first place?
When Abacha was dislodged, of course, he's a dictator and all that, and Obasanjo came. So when Obasanjo, do you remember?
No. Azam, before you continue, let me correct an impression. All those assets were bought by Nigerians, including your Atiku, Obasanjo, and the rest, and some Nigerian wealthy people. They share all these assets among themselves. There is no known foreigner they sold it to. Although they might have some.
Will you tell me with a straight face that Nikon Insurance Corporation was not working when it was sold?
This is a government insurance something. If it's really working, why are they not in the system?
The pool of funds now, out of Nikon Insurance came NDIC, out of Nikon Insurance
So
came.
you can go and ask this guy that oversees that sector, that guy that stole a lot of money with his son. I forgot his name.
So this is what I'm proposing, guys, and so that I will not take too much time. And this debate, this and talk is very informing. But see, for example, now when Dangote was doing his refinery, right, the federal government, Dangote wanted federal government to have some certain percentage. I think at first it was 35, 40, but the federal government now stopped at 20%. And even at that 20%, they were not able to meet up that 20%. He had to renegotiate to bring them down to 7% and then give them room to make up for the remainder of the 20% so that they can at least have one over 5 stake. So my ideal will not be this liberalization that removes government and removes the soul and remove people-centric glasses to look at policy and examine it to the degree.
So Azan, I think what you are proposing is that
Azan,
you are looking at, let me say this. Sorry, Simba. I think what Azan is proposing is I will call it cash them syndrome. You are proposing from they were not well developed, and you want to do a cut of let them take them along. The rich ones should take the poor along. That is not competition, and that is not development. So
no, Hassan does not believe in trickle-down economics. He said it himself.
The rich people continue to feed the poor one.
No. Hassan is a core socialist. Let me chime in, guys. Hassan is a
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Hassan is a socialist. He just said it to us. I mean, he doesn't believe in, like, trickle down economics. He doesn't believe in that. Okay. So I was just gonna even ask him. He's taking a lot of time talking, actually, but I was gonna ask him if he can. Can you give an example? Can you give an example of a country that you think Nigeria should emulate, or what kind of socialism are you talking about?
Okay, good. There are a lot of countries that Nigeria can emulate, but the thing with me is that there is no any other country that is exactly Nigeria. So my approach will be a system that works for Nigerians, that is suited to our peculiar, social, economic, political, and geographical realities, demographic realities also, because we have a very young population. We have the youngest population on earth. If you leave everything and liberalize it to venture capitalists, my God, the minimum wage is 70,000 naira. If you work in Abuja and you are earning, in fact, some people don't even pay the 70,000; they pay 50,000. You live in one shanty ghetto outskirts of Abuja. You come to work and you spend like 2,000 naira for 2,500, 2,000 naira.
So I'm 100% correct about your ideology.
Let him land now.
The thing is that, for example, every critical area, for example, transportation, energy, power, water, the things that matter, housing, we can liberalize luxury goods. If you want to wear Fendi, buy Tesla and Lamborghini, whatever, go and do your thing. But like you see, these basics, the government should have a significant input. Not everything, at least own 30%, so that the government will be in the table at the decision making to ensure that the interest of the common man is served. I don't think this is asking too much. Anyway, I rest my case.
Azan, let me say this. Even that Nikon insurance example that you gave, I could remember in 2005 when they did that. It was 70-30. Government owned 30%, and the foreign, I mean, the whoever bought, but it was Amcon that bought Nikon. Forget about all those things. They are not. Let me tell you, everybody knows throughout the world that government involvement in business is a waste of time. Even examples of countries now that you see that, okay, maybe they are still,
everybody, don't make absolutes now.
People, it's only people like you that still believe that people should be spoon-fed and should be giving them free things. It cannot work. It's not sustainable anywhere in the world again. Let me tell you, even in places where you can give example, like even in the Middle East, they are trying to even now. Let me tell you now, do you know that even in Saudi Arabia now, health system now is now privatized? Do you know that?
Yeah, I know that, because you see, when I was talking about the shocks we suffered during when
so if you know
the price
that
of oil collapsed, even Saudi Arabia
now
actually suffered from that too.
As rich as Saudi Arabia is now, their health sector now, which is in fact one of, because the two major social things that their citizens enjoy is health and free education. Now,
yes,
the health now is now privatized. It's now in the hand. Wait, now it's now in the hand of. Why do you think they do that? Because the whole system of just spending money on it is not sustainable.
Simba, in addition,
you understand? So I don't know why we are so fixated
out of
about
context. So I'm not. If Dangote controls 75% and Nigeria controls 25%, he's not going to. He's not going to make use.
Do you know that model that you are proposing? That's what they wanted to do for refinery, our local refinery, and it's still not working.
Azan, look at this thing. Dangote is not the only person producing sugar in Nigeria, flour, or maybe semo or whatever. There is a big Eagle flour mill. So many of them in Nigeria producing, and there's competition. So when you go around Nigeria, because I also travel around, I see people having the act of trading. They can buy various items. So that is the beauty. Now, when you now go to the developed country, today, nowadays, they are even reducing many of their benefits to people. The money cannot even sustain people like before. It's like they are now giving so many conditions. If you don't have work in the next 3 months, we don't pay again. If you don't do this, we don't pay again. So those people that rely on that benefit,
I find it amazing.
So what you are trying to say, what you should do,
Africans are advocating for this kind of economic practices that are not rooted in anything that concerns, the welfare of the community.
And
you are
what you should do.
Okay. Let me hold on.
I'm not saying liberalize. No, I'm not saying don't liberalize. I'm saying critical areas of the economy. For example,
in every place they should liberalize it, so that it can bring in
pyramid of needs, right? At the bottom of it, there are some fundamentals.
See, Azan,
let the government have some say in that.
Azan, hold on, Azan. There's a difference between social infrastructure and when you are talking of pure business infrastructure or a business environment.
There is a point of intersection too.
Yeah, there may be point of intersection. This is where I want you to look at it. If government is going to do everything, and with our population that is ballooning, maybe in the next 10 years, we'll be talking of our population getting closer to 400 million. Governments cannot do everything. Let's start from that. So the means of production, establishing and managing businesses, you go to private people, because with private people, you will have several investors coming. You understand? Just imagine a situation whereby government is the one want to establish farm for us. Government is the one that is going to in fact, by now we should have even privatized water corporation, for example. So government is the person that want to do electricity, you want to do everything, telecom, everything. Then there's going to be a problem. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons we are still where we are today. the reason we never move forward. And to make it worse, what that aspect of that government, you are now bringing in corrupt people that, by the time government start doing all those things, then this idea of a quota system will now come into that place. And that quota system, in many cases, if not most cases, they overlook competence. And you bring all those things, and with the aim of them going to that place and just to go and loot and wreck the company. Just imagine Dangote Cement in the hand of the government, and government is giving the Dangote Cement just to make sure you don't want to hand over Dangote Cement to the individual. Today, we won't have the Dangote Cement that is the largest producer of cement in Africa. Just imagine you hand over banking services to the government. You understand? We will not have all those Access Bank and not those any bank today. Because some people will be there. Hold on, Baba. Hold on. So by now, we've experienced what government managed before. The government failed. That was why we started moving to private enterprise. That is why we started even selling the public asset to the private people. NNPC, the money that NNPC looted over time, you understand, that money will be, in fact, if you put it properly very well, maybe we'll be talking of something in excess of $1 trillion. So replicate that one across all government enterprise.
That's true. I think where you misunderstand me is up till now, and I repeat again that I'm not against liberalizing every other sector except for critical. Okay, who owns?
What are those critical sectors?
The British Airways. Who controls Chinese railways? Who controls
British Airways is not managed by the government.
The NHS, for example.
Can I answer that question for you? Do you know what they did in China? Most of the corporations are private owned. Even the railways are commercialized. They are not run by the government. And they have a good regulatory system in that country. You cannot just do whatever you want. What we have been trying to tell you is that if you let government,
where did the funds come from?
If you let government have a stake in a business, they tend to overload themselves and control too much. And at the end of the day, it's going to be.
I will not lie to you. I was not happy that Dangote, actually got 93% of.
I was extremely happy. Why should I not be happy? Because this guy
I wanted the government to get at least 25 to protect the people.
Do you think if the government had that 25%, they will be able to be reducing the petrol price? I beg, Gary, you should understand this thing more than what you have been talking about.
Not to reduce, to protect. Yes, if it meant
there
are some times that windfalls will come, and people who are after money will actually extract and manipulate.
So that is why the government should regulate the MPPRs, DC, or whatever. And the people are there, they are also thinking about their own pocket. They are not regulating very well. That is why Dangote call him out.
So you guys don't believe that government.
What do you mean don't believe? What do you mean don't believe? Is it lying? You cannot lie on that.
I know that is your position now. You don't believe that government should, have a say and invest in the critical areas of the fundamentals, housing, health, water, sanitation, energy, transportation.
Even if you are talking about, let me give you an
example. They should do everything. They should be on the table. Don't leave it to people whose primary motivation is profit. It will not end well. Look at America.
Let me give you a very good example. In Oyo State, before they have water corporation. This water corporation is run by the state government. Today, since more than 15 or 20 years, they have shut down. Almost all water corporation all over the state. The only state that their water corporation is still running very well is only Lagos State in the southwest. The rest have shut down for more than 20 years. That is the reason why people are now have to
Remy,
keep
but all these ones, they are 100% in government hands now. I'm talking about,
so I'm trying to give
I'm
the
talking
example
about
that
giving private investors 75%, government retaining 25%. Okay.
government does not have business in doing that. They can give it to several water corporation, private companies
Government does
to
have,
manage each
because government creates the policies, and then they also ensure that the policies are implemented, and they also have the welfare of the citizens as their primary responsibility, and they are supposed to
And
protect
if
the
you have to be
citizens.
truthful, you will know that most things run by government in Nigeria
I
sincerely work.
understand your
It's not
position,
what
but
so
you are you are, I think you are talking too much of the ideal, and you are talking in absolutes, as if the only way that things have worked before is when it is left and liberalized in the hands of people who are seeking profit. And I said no, that is not usually actually the case. If you look at history, I mean, there are governments that have done wonderfully well, and there are governments that have had significant stake in
Azan,
critical
let me ask
areas.
you a question.
Not
Okay,
everything. I mean,
Azan, let me ask you a simple question. Where are the Odua investment today? Or where are those investments? Where are the one invested by the northern region? Where are those investments? See, government, see anything that, see,
yeah, that's
look,
true.
look,
That's true.
if I
That's
have
true.
my way, I want government to let private people operate this thing. You understand? Okay, Fashola farm, maybe the Fashola farm today, we don't even know what is happening. Even where we used to have some of those investments today, some people they bought the thing to build house. You understand? The textile industry, where are those textile industry? They don't pie, they don't die. So you see, we can't see, because by the time
Now
government
look
start
look at
controlling.
this look at this mining space now, for example,
No, no,
where
no.
they're
Hold on,
mining
Azan. Where
that
you will know,
government
where
has.
we know how poor government can be in managing. Just go look at what they are managing today. Look at our universities. Look at our schools. Look at our secondary schools. Look at our other things. So if those things are not being managed properly, and you want to bring these people into business, you understand? They will. I know Nigeria will not move forward. You understand? Look at our ex sector. They are not even doing anything there. We are not clamoring that we should even give this into the private people. So let them even at least show good example where they have monopoly. Government has monopoly in the next sector. You understand? Government work on government work on correct. Okay, no, they don't have monopoly because there's still some private, but they have almost monopoly. They have
Well,
monopolies in
let's just
electricity.
agree to disagree. If I'm in power, I will not leave my people in the hands of people whose primary morality and motivation is extracting as much profit
so
as
you are trying
possible.
to say government should also run on losses, right? If it's government owned or government have a stake, they should run
I'm
it
not
on losses
saying,
because they
yeah,
want to start
yeah.
others.
Now you are representing me well. I'm not saying government for control full ownership. I'm saying it should have a stake. It should have a place on the table to
How
protect.
can you have a stake while you are also the regulatory body? Don't you think you'll be biased?
That's not good. That's not good because that thing can be okay. Go tell that one to Richard. Is this Richard Branson or whatever? You understand? Of Nigeria, Virgin Nigeria. You know what he said when he left Nigeria. You know, he was even the one having the majority stake, but for the government even having the smaller the lower stake of it, you understand, the demand of the government through bribery and a lot of manipulation, you understand, they ran the country like grant. You understand? The only country that is still existing today that I can say, okay, government is running maybe just because of the way they structure it. That's an LNNG, which is just the way they run it, just like as simple as a private. But you see our NNPC ran
Who
down.
is funding voice? Who is funding Voice of America? Who is funding BBC? Who is
See,
funding Deutsche Welle?
we are not those countries. So we should look at our own
Hey, God.
peculiarity. See, let me tell you one thing. Whenever we want to do something today, you understand, it is nepotism first before competence in Nigeria.
Yes, that's a problem. That's a problem.
You understand? So nepotism is either come from religion, come from ethnicity, you understand, or come from maybe friends and family and all those stuff. So in that situation, it does not really matter whether you are competent or not. Or they just want to know now we. And when you now, when you have a gang of hawk, you understand, arranging themselves into like positions. At the end of the day, just because they share the same vision and opinion, they will not use the shared vision to help the business. They will rather use that to crash the business. That is what we know how to do in Nigeria whenever we hand over enterprise organization to the government. So okay. United never survived, despite the fact that Obasanjo tried everything. You understand? They didn't survive. NEPA today, even when they even privatize it now, even because they handed over it to some people to manage you see now we are still paying trillions of naira in subsidy now for darkness in that country. You see why government should not get involved. But if you have given this thing to private people, to run, anybody that want to make money will make money on their own. But just because these people are still getting money from the government, best not believe that they are not going to develop that infrastructure. They will keep selling darkness and be getting trillions of naira.
Let me even ask Azan. Okay, Azan, if you look at let's take education in Nigeria now. We have private secondary school, private polytechnic, university, and all those things, and you never hear strike in those institutions. And if you go and check how much they are paying those people who are working in those private sector, private institutions, private university, and all those things, it's not even up to what they were paying the government one. But you see, so why? What are the ones working in government agitating for?
Okay. So correlation does not imply causation. So just because some government workers are idling away and are not doing their job does not mean that those who are working hard for their money are not supposed to be remunerated as what they deserve. And what is actually happening in private schools in Nigeria is the fact that teachers are exploited. They will exploit you, they'll pay you pennies, and they will make millions of naira. The way Nigerians are treated of their labor, it's not really good though. I mean, if you are an investor and you have a lot of capital, yes, you can make a lot of money from the sweat of a lot of people, of course, because there is an there is a abundance of labor, so you can do what you like and sack that. But that does not negate the fact that the value that individual is adding.
Let me tell
and
you,
it's not fair. I just want it to be fair.
Wait, well, one thing that people don't understand is, let me tell you, because I've seen on social media people peddling some rumors. They even say that in Saudi Arabia the government pay their citizens salary every month even when they are not working. Those are blatant lies. And let me tell you today, what the government in Nigeria is trying to do is what actually the people of Saudi Arabia are enjoying. Apart from the free health and free education, they have access to loans to do whatever they want to do. If you want to build house, if you want to buy car, you will see somebody, let's say, earning 5,000, and he will go and buy a car of 60,000, and he will be paying, let's say, 1,000 every month until you understand. Those are the things that we're supposed to be advocating for. If you are looking for a wage that will be able to solve all your problem, but build a house buy you a car, and you understand. You no, there is no country that you
No,
can
no,
get
no.
that.
How can yeah, you have to plan now over maybe a decade or so before you, just a living wage with dignity. Not that I don't know how to put this. You guys maybe have not toiled and suffered, so you cannot relate. Maybe that's
You
the
don't
reason.
understand what do you mean by I try and suffer. I don't know. You are
No,
telling
you're
somebody,
just too
me.
elitist.
Let me tell you, Azan. You don't. If you are saying that, don't you can say that to some people. Me, I work well to. Okay, you know, civil service. I work to like get to level 17 Nigerian civil service. So don't tell me that.
Yeah. Yeah. You've suffered.
I
You've
left
had the
at
experience.
the level of a director. So
Mm.
don't come and bullshit me with say, okay, no, we have
No,
not
but the
suffered.
way you are, it's just the way you come off. Like it's like you just, I don't know.
Let me tell you, if I have, I've learned working as a civil servant in Nigeria, and I will tell you what I've gained.
Mm.
Working for government in Nigeria and even anywhere is just a waste of time.
Even
It's
if
a
you
waste
pay
of
me,
time.
I will not work for Nigerian government.
You understand? It's a waste of time. That length of time, if you invest it in yourself, 30 years, 35 years,
Of course.
you know how much you will have achieved.
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear people, you giving examples of say somebody earning 70,000 and still in Abuja, what are you doing in Abuja with 70,000?
You'll be surprised, wallahi, how people
You
are doing
understand?
that.
It doesn't make sense. You understand?
Mm.
When I was, let me give you,
So
for example,
the thing
there
is,
was a
if they
time in
fire you,
20,
another person
Azan,
is
there was a time in 2013,
mm,
a student of mine came to me. He was my pad, I will call him my student. He's a medical doctor. He works with DSS.
mm,
The guy just walked to my consulting room. I was even seeing patient that day, 2013, around May 2013. And he said, Chief, good afternoon. That they want to make some recruitment in Nigerian DSS. So that and if I'm interested, that I can come and join them as a consultant. I said, okay, how much are you people offering? As at that time, they said they are going to pay me around 900,000.
mm,
And where I was working that time, I think I was earning like 400, 450.
mm.
And I look, I say, okay,
That's
me,
double.
I will relocate to Abuja to go and be earning 900,000.
Ah, a mistake. Oh.
You understand? But how many people
No.
can reason? I have my business as at that time that I'm already doing. I know how much.
You
Because
are better off where you
you
are.
are not thinking, you were not thinking like proper civil servant, because proper civil
Exactly.
servant will look as, okay, well,
You understand? I know how
900,000,
much I was
okay, then I
paying
should be
on
able
my
to
for
get
my
3
school,
million.
for the school fees of my children. I know how much I will go and be paying in Abuja. I know how much I already have in
No,
my own house. I know how much rent
you
I'll
must
go
learn
and
the
be.
skill of how to steal now. You must add the skill of how to steal before you can go. That's what some people will look
In
at.
the hospital, what will you
What
feel?
people don't understand is that if you look at yourself, I don't
No,
fancy
no.
working in
Sorry,
Lagos
did
and not.
Hassan say, what can you steal in the government hospital? Are you serious?
They
That
are
what
not
someone can
chiefs.
steal?
We don't have chiefs in our hospitals, so
Because you don't know. Because you don't know.
especially the medical staff. I don't know for those in admin.
Well, Simba, is that okay? Some people that are still thief are still thief. That's what I'm saying.
In fact, what if I remember when I was still, I every day, I don't think there's any day I don't even assist patients, pay for their medication or give them money to feed and all
You
those.
see what I'm telling you? They are the ones that
In
even
fact,
sacrifice.
sometimes all my team, my senior registrars, house officers that are following me, sometimes I even tax them, oh yeah, bring 100 naira here, bring 200 naira here to support patients.
Mm,
People in administration, yes, they can get money
mhm,
they
mhm.
can loot money, but not people that are practicing.
Yeah,
The patient
Yeah,
doesn't have
because you
money.
don't have access to money. Yeah,
I
I
know
agree.
because I have two sisters who are medical doctors, an uncle who is a professor surgeon. So yeah, I know what it's like being
See,
a doctor.
let me tell you how some doctors steal from the employer. So it happened. There was this guy. He just had some kind of orthopedic incident. So he was taken to a private hospital, and they charged that guy about 400K, right? Now, the person that was supposed to pay for that guy now went to that doctor and said, "Oga, this money is too much now. What can you do for me?" All those stuff, and they just negotiated. Okay, the guy just cut the money into half. He said, "But you will have to come to my own private clinic." Right? You were working for a private hospital. You were taking the client to your private clinic. That's another way of stealing. So that means that
people do that. People do that even in government hospital.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Exactly what I'm telling you.
But usually they claim that
no.
that one.
Azan, you are not getting my logic. You are not getting my logic.
I get
Simba
you.
went to that hospital, he could have done that. Now, let me tell you one thing. This guy,
you know why?
Hold on, Simba. Let me land up the story, and you will see one funny thing. So he cut that money to about 200,000 to come to his hospital. He said, they will get a blood transfusion and all those stuff. Now, someone now advised the guy, say, why don't you go to Bobby? Why are you disturbing yourself? Go to Bobby. When he went to Bobby, fortunately, the entire process was not even up to 10K, if I remember. It was not even up to 10K. From 400,000 to 10,000.
Shy.
So you see that sharp practices. So when you say some doctors will not have chance to steal, because you are not expert.
The minority.
The sharp practice there is not about the money. It's not. Is the corruption of saying you are diverting patients. You understand?
You were stealing
the price
from.
That
You're
you
not
pay
stealing.
in Bobby. Bobby is a government institution.
I know, but that guy could have done it for that private hospital. Maybe he would have quoted maybe like 150,000, and it will still perform that. And you know that there was no. It was just a manipulation, because that guy was expecting that they will use surgical blade to cut through, knife to cut through, and do all those stuff. The consultant said
the guy. Let me tell you.
They
what
just did manipulation.
Guys, let me go and pray.
If you don't have money, what are you doing in a private? What are you doing in a private hospital? Because private hospital is business.
No. Let me tell you. Sometimes people go to private hospital because of urgency. Because
but you should also be ready to pay the price for that urgency.
Okay. So now look at about 10,000 to 400,000. Then look at what that doctor did, and I will do it for you for half of that price.
You heard what I said earlier. That is a business. Let me tell you, if you go to a private hospital, even they will do tests because they want to get as much as they can from you. You understand? Even tests that are not relevant, they will ask you to do it because they want to get more money from you. You understand? It's a practice. Is a normal practice everywhere, and that is why if you know that you don't have money, the kind of attention that you get from them, the speediness or whatever whatever you get, that they will not delay you. They will give you attention, and you pay for it. That one, you go to government hospital, you might experience some delay, but it will be cheaper for you.
Yeah, now some hospital you will see will be doing X-ray for a week-old baby. You start wondering, what necessitated that, for goodness sake?
It's just to get more money now.
No, but was that not some kind of hazard? No, was that not hazard?
You can do X-ray for a newborn self. Even you can do X-ray for a pregnant woman. It depending on the condition. You understand?
No, just because I think the condition was like this, Billy Rubin, whatever. You know, they call it jaundice that was not clearing out on time. You know, started doing a lot of things to check the liver, to check some other things. You understand? For just 1 week child, less than a week child itself. You know, to the point that they will say, okay, okay, this one, they didn't do this one in Nigeria that time anyway, so I won't say they wanted to use it for money. When you are saying you were doing phosphate test for a child, for a newborn, you know, when some doctor will say, say kilo day. So you see, there are some kind of sharp practices.
Can they do that one for a newborn child?
I should be similar is pediatrician. That's where I'm. So if I'm using the wrong
I don't
time,
think Simbali answers.
You know, so you see, if someone goes to Abuja, with the salary that should be staying in the one local area in Ekiti, know that doctor has another motive, except you are going there because you cannot find job in your locality.
Some of them think that if they go to Abuja, it has more better opportunity. They will mean better.
No, that's what I'm. No, and as a government doctor, maybe they put you somewhere in one village of 10,000 people in Ekiti now to stay there, where maybe your rent in a year will not even be more than maybe 300,000. But they are not sending you to Abuja, where you'll be paying rent of maybe 3 million, 4 million. And you are just earning.
How much are you even collecting?
And you are earning 700,000 a month.
You know, when I was working in Lagos, for me to go to work, I have to get up as early as 4:30 a.m. to beat the traffic. Suffering, it was so. And when I also
you they leave because now all those places you go there where you go they wake up 4:30.
Before I used to live at Surulere, but when I get a house, I find the house very far away.
Life will need take big gang.
No, Remy, Makapu. How would you be living in Surulere and you be waking now not 4 o'clock? Yeah, it's
you are in Maryland. You are long been inside the Jewish but very many traffic.
You are just talking now. We said you were in Surulere. I was.
No. I was living in Surulere, but it was more really very. You understand?
See, I was working in. I was working in my company. My office was on Broad Street, so I was living at the back of Yanamero. So every day that time. We wake up around 4:30. We'll be at the bus stop latest by 5 o'clock. Because if you didn't leave by 5 o'clock, you will get late to the office.
Are you talking?
Drop me bridge immediately because you don't even know who you are going to meet on the road. Because two things: if there's no vehicle, if there's no downfall to get you to your destination, the only thing that will come to your head is how to trek home.
And all that there's one woman.
Just imagine someone trekking from that place, planning to trek from other big Yanapaja to that Yanamero.
Question tobacco lily or Ojini 4 a.m. or Agumi Loma Pada Dili. How many hours of rest do you normally have?
Rest because when I get up at 4 a.m.
in most cases, those maybe we rest about 4 hours.
It's a hard life.
There was a time where one of my cousins told me that he was living somewhere in an estate and before that no man currently. So what you saw, the thing is so much in his blood that there was a day now wake up at 1 a.m. When he now got to the gate, it was the security man that was like, "Oh, guy, where are you going at this time?" He said he was going to work now.
And one funny thing was that kéèyàn tó wá máa dé àdúgbò kéèyàn tó wá máa bá OPC kẹ́tù jọ máa mú kan lẹ̀ ládùúgbò kẹ́tù jọ máa pò. So the thing was, when I realized that living around, so when I now wanted to rent, I wanted to move from where I was. Go around. There's this fine building in Abule Egba, correcting, very big, 3-bedroom flat, everything inclusive. I said, Benny, I would rather go and stay in a boys' quarters in Oregon, or go stay in a boys' quarter in
and when you look at it, even economically, Ola, one mistake that people used to make is that they will look at the cost of housing. They don't look at the cost of transportation. You are living in Nigeria, you are working in Ireland, and because you say you cannot afford the house in Ireland, by the time you had the inconvenience, the transportation and everything, in fact, it will cost you more.
In terms of health, mental health, everything, because those are the things that people fail to quantify. Yes, money. Now I know money is guaranteed.
I used to have a colleague that time that works in Lut, and he was staying in Agege. Can you imagine? You are working in Lut and you are staying in Agege. So every time the guy will be coming to work, he will be leaving house around 4 a.m. and be coming to work. The other friend of mine, that one just rented a house in say Lasamaja, what they call that area, very close to Lut. The guy will just walk in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to the teaching hospital. But this guy that is staying in Agege, can you imagine what kind of life is that?
I didn't enjoy
our okay. Ola, I can leave my house and get to my place of work in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I can even forget something at home. I will come back home and pick it.
Yes, now. No, of course. When I was in Ekiti, now you wanted to go to somewhere. Why will I wake up? You see, like, okay, you will resume 8 o'clock. You will just be walking to that place around around 7:20. I know 7:40. You were walking to wherever you were going. So the thing was that I didn't know. I just got a relief when I moved to Oregon, because that time now I have two ways. It's either I just move straight to Tomiland or I just take the Western Avenue. You understand? So that time, instead of all this 4 o'clock, 4:30, it now became 5:30. So, but the thing is this: I want to leave home before 6:15, and driving from that place to my office is just about 18 to 20 minutes. So it was okay. But like before, even at that Abule Egba we were even talking about, even if you were going to drive in the morning there, you understand, you will drive for like you are waking up around 6:30 and you'll be driving for like 50 to 1 hour. And if you didn't even call it, so it's become worse if you don't even leave on time. Exactly. No, if there's hold up, you can book 2 hours.
Even that mental stress that you have to be thinking about every time, that you are not even sure what you are going to meet along when you are going. You're not sure.
No, your brain will not be sharp. Now that's why you get to the meeting, you'll be having meeting in the office, and you'll be struggling to align with what they are talking about. You'll be struggling to, oh my goodness.
If I get a job of 500,000 in Ilorin and I get a job of 1.5 million naira in Lagos, I will not go. I will not go.
Because already that's your 1.5 million. We not even rent.
By the time you rent apartment,
we not even rent 2-bedroom flat in Bagada. They don't even rent 2-bedroom flat in Bagada. So what's the purpose? I don't like I have someone now. I think his rent is about 3.5. I think in Bagada. No, in Nogudu. Sorry, about 3.5
per year.
Yeah, 3.5 million. He complained to me. He complained to me that his salary was reduced by about 130,000. His net. So his net before used to be around 1.4, around 1.4. monthly, and the thing came to around 1.2 something.
Why?
Came to around 1, just because of the new tax.
I think
no. In tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé òun ti kọjá boundary and there was some kind of owó kan tí wọ́n fún wọn tẹ́lẹ̀.
Àwọn tó wà lókè yẹn náà ni salary.
So it's not taxable. So even when you look at the net of that guy already around let's say around 1.3 million, right? Look at the net of that guy. 1 million times 12, that's 12 million, right? 300,000 multiplied by 12. That's another 3.6 million. You know, so that means that guy is earning over 20 M. You understand? So when he's a complainer like this, I say, wow. You mean I don't even know saying the guy's salary even read that because now guy he never tell where the guy just come off. He don't take small, but not up to 10 years. Where the guy just come off for when the
that
guy
tax, there are a lot of people that increase their salary now.
In fact, no, but 90% of workers, 90% of people that have earned so far, it's like I forwarded it into you, right? I'm not sure. So 90% of people that got their tax down, 90% their net increased. So when your net reduced,
I don't think there is any normal civil servant in Nigeria that will not have an increment, because there is no civil servant that will be earning 1.3. I'm not talking about people working for private sector. I'm talking about government. There is nobody that will be earning that.
1.3 monthly.
Maybe doctors.
Whether who? Doctors?
Yeah.
Are you sure doctors are any up to that in Nigeria? What type of doctor? Consultant?
No. I forget about it. Even my salary before I left was almost 1 million.
Monthly, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's it. So if 90% got an increase in the net, then you see if you go to online now, kekete pama one, they want to tax people to death or those kekete pama one. I have one guy in my private group that anything Tinubu like this, in fact, that man a rational mind. I don't even know who Tinubu. I don't even know the worst enemy of Tinubu between the man and the rational mind. Whenever we are discussing that one, sometimes we will forget that we are supposed to be friends. That I'm not a subject. If we just I say this thing, I will like say, Benny, Tinubu is not hearing you where you are, so cool down your temper, because he just want everybody to condemn Tinubu. So today I just share that in that 90% got more. Let me just see if I can just pull that in
here. I want to ask a question.
Okay,
look at the Naira now is about 1,300 something to $1. Let us even assume that the thing continue to appreciate and we are now getting to like let's say 900 or 800. Do you think that the government will be able to sustain the salary that they are paying this?
No. Please say that again. Let me hear that again. Can you say it again?
I said, like, let's say the Naira it is continue to appreciate the way it's continue to appreciate. Naira is now maybe exchanged for like less than 1,000 to $1.
Okay.
Do you know that the government revenue will also follow that? You understand what I'm saying? Because at least if let's say the government is earning 30 billion naira dollar before, whatever they get in dollar is what they convert to naira to pay to say, okay, this is what we are going to spend. So in dollar time, it will remain the same, but in naira time, it will reduce. You understand my point?
I understand, because you are assuming that all the government revenue is made in dollars, right? That's what you.
Majority of the government revenue is made in dollars. Now we know that now.
Are you sure?
Our net money is coming from oil, so this is in dollar now.
That's not true.
Because let me tell you what they did in Ghana in around 2005, 2006 when they removed the 0.0000 from their money is to also remove 0.00 from the salary that they are paying. You understand my point?
Mm-hmm.
So if peradventure naira appreciated so well that the naira is now strong, don't you think that the state that are sharing 2 trillion naira now, maybe they are not sharing, let's say, 1 trillion naira, and then they've already increased based on what they are earning now? Don't you anticipate that there will be a problem?
I get exactly what you are doing, but then the way I look at it is this: there are a lot of money made locally. You understand? So, like what you are making in the one, like let's say GST, I'm saying GST, like a VAT, like some corporate taxation, like when the corporate taxation, like
But
you
everything will
see
also reduce
the
dollar now.
pay. Is that what?
Because as naira, let me tell you that as naira is appreciating and you understand, the price of goods and services will also go down. The net profit or whatever in terms of naira worth will also reduce.
I got your point. I got your point. Absolutely. I got your
So what the
point.
government will also be getting will reflect the exchange rate.
You know why I'm not speaking to this is this. I've not even looked at the I want to look I want to I've not looked at this thing holistically to see, okay, because I know that the majors forex earner for the government is oil and gas for sure. I know that. But what I'm saying is there are a lot of other activities that go in within that economy too. Don't forget.
Because our economy is a reflection of our foreign exchange. Let me give you, because whatever is our economy is driven by importation of most of the basic goods and services, even raw materials and all those things. So it has a very huge impact on the cost of things in Nigeria.
Mm, I definitely know where you are going to, but I'm still telling you that now. Okay, for example, now let me ask the question: what's the if you look at Lagos State government to start with, what's like the tax they generate internally generated, from pay and all those stuff? Do you understand the quantity?
Okay,
Then
let me give you,
how
for
much?
example, let me give you, maybe you understand it the
Let
way I
me.
want
I
it.
understand what you are saying.
Let's say somebody brings $10 to come and invest in a company. You understand? And that $10, by the time you bring it in, maybe the naira was 1,500 to $1. So that would be like 15,000 naira. Am I making sense? Yes, $10. Now you put that money into the economy and you are running it. You are running it. So a time now comes that the exchange rate now is now falling. So let's say now you have like $1 to naira is now 800 naira. You know that the cost of whatever you are selling will also reflect that. You understand? So let's say now before let's say you are selling for 1,500 and now you are selling for 800 because of the increase in value of naira. The gross or whatever the company will be posting will also reflect that. And whatever tax, whatever government will also reflect that. So it's not as if there's a decrease in the revenue, but because of the appreciation in naira, you understand what I'm saying. But
I get what you are saying.
if your running cost is not reflecting that, it's going to be a problem. So what I'm saying is that is it possible now to say, okay, because now the purchasing power of naira is increasing and they have to now be reducing the salary of people?
No. because
want to answer now.
No, they won't, because the problem we are having is that the regulatory body are not doing their work at all. Like, for example,
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. It's
okay,
not about regulatory body.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you, for example, let me use my own little business to say there was a time we are selling egg 700 naira per crate. Now we are selling 4,700. And as at that time, I was paying my staff maybe 10,000 naira. As at that time that we are selling 700 naira per crate. Now I'm paying them 80,000. Do you understand? Let's say peradventure we now find ourselves in a situation whereby the price of egg is now 700 naira. Do you think I will be able to be paying that 80,000 naira again?
I understand exactly what you are talking about. You are looking at it from the point of foreign exchange. Okay, today maybe you make $1, the government make $1, let's say it's 1,600. Then it comes to 1,000. The government is losing in terms of naira, in terms of naira value. You understand? I got your point, but that's why I asked you a simple question the other time, that if you go back to Lagos State, for example, what are they making internally? What are they using for payroll? Okay, let's say Lagos State government this year, I think they budget about 400 billion for payroll. Now, how much is Lagos State government making payroll? Yeah. If I give, let me check. Let me check.
What is their budget?
Do you think that kind of thing cannot lead to inflation?
No. That should actually help with we actually reduce inflation if naira strengthening. It will actually lead to
if the purchasing power of the people increases.
Now, yes, I understand what you are saying. There's an inflation driven by the supply. If supply cannot measure up all those stuff. But what we are saying in this instance is that if naira strengthening, the people become more prosperous. You understand? The people becomes more prosperous. And it now depends on how government responds to some kind of policies. Will you be importing more, or you be producing locally? So now, if there were about 10 bags of rice before, you understand, and naira increase, and this thing appreciate, you understand. So you expect people to say they want to buy more bag of rice, and therefore there be competition for the supply, right? But now the policy of the government now, if it encourages, like, okay, you bring in more rice, then that one will nullify whatever inflation you want to talk. Even someone is telling you that government will have to increase tax to solve that problem. Yes, unfortunately, unfortunately, that's an option. True.
It's an option, but it's not in case of Nigeria.
You understand?
Nigeria, somebody, that is when they will now remember that my grandfather that died 50 years ago, we have to yen pada. When
No. That's surplus.
Funny thing. But when the price of petrol continued to go down, more Nigerians started buying car again. So you see.
No, so not even more Nigerian. The people that park their car, they put them on the road more.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that kind of.
I think what will happen initially is that it will encourage more people to buy more. That will be boosting the economy.
There will be more spending. More spending.
Yeah. And that's good for the economy.
Relatively, it will be a relative more spending. No?
More spending because someone that can
let's say what you can use to buy one thing before is now you can use it to buy two things. You understand? Same amount, but now can purchase more. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the same amount that you are spending because your salary has not increased. It's not as if you have more money in your hand. It's only that the one that you have has more purchasing power. you understand my point.
Simba.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I don't want to give a response in a hurry because we have to simulate with different input. We can raise this question tomorrow. Maybe we'll have come up with a better, because a lot of things can happen. You understand? So a lot of things can happen.
People will not earn more. The scenario that I'm painting, that you don't earn more, but it's only that what you are earning.
The naira has appreciated. I understand what you are saying.
It has more power.
Naira has appreciated.
Power of the naira. For example, somebody did a very simple.
But the question you should ask now: will your crate of air come down that time? That's the point. You understand? Because your crate of air will come down.
They will necessarily not bring it down, but
it's coming down. No, I mean, you don't say they will not necessarily. It's coming down. Let me tell you, all these things are demand and supply now. Let me tell you this is a natural thing. If you say you don't want to bring your own down, there are a lot of people that will bring it down. You'll be forced by other people in the same business.
And it's not even a kind of product you can just
driver bring the cost of transportation down.
They don't.
So and that's with the landlord, with the landlord bring the cost of rent down.
You understand? When they were buying fuel for 1,000, and now they are buying for 700 and something, have they reduced the price?
No, they did not. So that's why I'm saying that there is no regulatory framework to really control that kind of thing. And there should be
the input for response. It's not coming. They are not coming to my head immediately. So that's why that's your question caught me. That caught me unexpectedly. So I have no answer.
Sometimes I wonder why most of the state government they are not copying like Lagos State BRT system. Where it's easy to, if I were governor of your state, what I would just do, I have 9 local government in Ibadan. I would just give each local government.
You they whine me. The state governor that cannot even protect their forest.
No, let me say this.
You see, or your state now, or your state need to intensify effort to clear all this.
He's just a stupid man. I'm sorry to say that.
You understand? Because
that kind of thing, I don't even. They applied it before now. In Oyo State that time, I don't know them if you are aware. That time there is this TCTC transport company that time now.
Yes, by Ajimobi, you are right. But when
was it Oyo State or Elisha when sorry, Osun State? TCTC.
I think it's a Bolagi. It's not Bolagi that
it was before Osun State was even created, so not.
That's a TCTC before Osun State was created. Exactly. TCTC is Tipegon now.
What Tipegon now? Yeah.
I know. Those say they used to have Owena mass transit.
Owena trans Kinika.
Mass transit, yeah. That time we used to have even water vessel. You know.
But Owena River is in Osun State now.
Okay. Why do you think Owena River is in Osun State and not in?
I think he's talking about the river basin.
No. I'm just that way. It's different. I'm just that Owena town. Which state is it belong to?
I think it's Ondo State.
Owena.
I
think it's the boundary.
Okay.
I think it's the boundary between the two states.
I think Owena is because okay, all those things, you understand. So Owena is in Owena should be in those things. I don't think it's the boundary.
Owena town. I'm googling it now. Ondo State. Owena is in Ondo State.
I know for sure. Because that of the river there. So, and Owena is in Akure South. So Owena River basin, all the man. I remember all those days when our dam used to function. We have this dam and
you guys, thank you for this thing. I'm going to work.
Okay, well, thank you everyone too. Maybe we just we don't try. I was even trying to push it to 5 hours. It's like people, all those back end panelists are not here today. So thank you everyone for sharing the time with us, and your presence is appreciated, and we've learned a lot together. So we shall come back tomorrow. Well, let me say on behalf of one man, if you decide, we shall come back tomorrow. You understand, for another learning session. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.